What is up, PELWELL family? Today we're focusing on the back side of the body, hamstrings and back. We also have some amazing cardio pushes. To begin, we're going to start with a mobility warm-up. So inhale, reach the arms overhead, exhale, fold, and then walk it out into high plank. From here, activating through the core, drive the chest back towards the legs, really open up the chest and the shoulders, come back to plank. With every exhale, drive the sits bones back up to the sky, and with every inhale, come back to your plank. Keep alternating between these two, really focusing on opening up the hamstrings, the chest, the shoulders, really warming up through the entire body. Keep the core nice and strong, so when you come back into that plank, you're not sagging the hips. Step the right foot through to the hand, reach the right arm up, and then as you lower, try to get the forearm to touch the floor, really opening up through the hips. Inhale, open the chest, find length through the upper body, and then exhale as you lower that arm, open up the left hip flexor. From here, lower the left knee, sit back, lengthen the right hamstring, and then float back forward. So just gentle moving back and forth to really warm up the right leg. Stay with your breath here. The next time you come back, hold, bring the hands to the inside of the right foot and really open up that hamstring. Shift the weight back forward, step the right foot all the way back onto the ball of the foot, and then just shift back and forth. Stretching out through the bottom of the right foot, through the Achilles, the calf, the hamstring. Getting a little wrist mobility too as you shift the weight forward and back. And then drive yourself back up to down dog. Back to flowing through down dog to plank. Mobilizing through the shoulder joints, opening up through the lower part of the body. And then bring the left foot forward. Inhale, reach the left arm up high to the sky, and then lower the forearm as close to the floor as your mobility will allow. Staying nice and strong through the legs and opening up through the hips. Slowly lower that right knee, and then again just shift the weight back and forth, opening up your left hamstring. Mobilizing through the hips and through the shoulders as you shift the weight forward and back. Hold that weight back, open up that left hamstring. Bring the body weight back forward. From here, step the foot in, drop into a squat. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Drop the hips, and then straighten the legs back out. When you drop the hips, you can gently just rock side to side, really focusing on finding length and opening through those hip flexors. And then on the fold, drive the hips up nice and high. Place the right hand under the center of the chest, reach the left arm up high, and then switch to the other side. Focusing on finding that lengthening and that opening through the upper body, through the chest and the shoulders. Straightening out the legs, bring the feet together, fold forward. From here, gently roll all the way up to stand. Take the feet nice and wide, all 10 toes facing the same way. Lean into the right leg and then to the left. So you're moving laterally like into a side lunge, but we're focusing on warming up the outside of the hips. And then getting a nice spinal twist, warming up through the back. From here, keep the chest nice and tall and gently just shift the weight side to side. Bending one knee and lengthening the opposite leg straight. Go ahead and come to the right side and then open up the inner left thigh. Transition to the other side. Come back to center. Find length through the spine, pull the crown of the head forward, and then fold again. Step the feet a little closer together. Place the hands on the thighs, round the back, decompress the spine, and then flatten. From here, push into one leg as you straighten that arm. Come back to center, and then switch to the other side. Rise all the way up, big side body stretch. Try to make a half moon shape on the other side. Reach the arm down the body. And then take it to the other side. Rise up nice and tall, roll the shoulders a couple times, and then let the ear fall to the shoulder and then to the other side. Get ready to work, PELWELL family. We've got a great workout for you today. Okay, so up first, we actually have a cardio circuit on deck. You're going to need both dumbbells as we're going to go into weighted burpees. So to do this, you're going to have the weights hanging down by your side. You're going to jump or step the feet back into your burpee position, and then jump or step the feet back in, stand up, and clean the weight up to your shoulders. So go ahead, grab those two dumbbells. In less than 10 seconds, we have a 30-second cardio push. All right, grab those weights. We go in 3, 2, and you're in it. Let's go. Hop those feet back, hop them in, clean the weight up to the shoulders, and right back into it. You got this. We have 5 different cardio moves back to back, no recovery time. So right now we're focusing on getting that heart rate up and really getting the body nice and warm and primed for this workout. Make sure when you jump the feet back, the core is strong so you're not sagging the hips or feeling any of this in the lower back. When you clean the weights up, make sure you're hinging from those hips and shrug, elbow, punch the weights up so we're not bicep curling. All right, keep those weights in hands. We have a deadlift, high pull. So focusing on the posterior chain, you're focusing on the hamstrings and the upper back. So keep the weight super close to you. Hinge from the hips, make sure you're not squatting. You have a flat back at the bottom. When the weights hit about mid-thigh, you're pulling that weight all the way up and underneath the chest. You got it, 10-second push. Stay with it. After this, we still have those weights. We're going into a single leg deadlift with a row at the bottom. 3, 2, and transition. Balance on one side, hinge from the hips, row the weight up towards the ribs. Make sure you have a flat back, just like in a normal deadlift. We don't want the back rounding and feeling any of this in the lower back. The intensity here is through the speed and through the balance, the unilateral work. Your core is working like crazy. You should feel the hamstring, your upper back, the entire backside of your body is working. In 3 seconds, we switch sides, stay with it. Straight into it, other side, let's go. Find that balance, find that stability. If you can, keep the opposite leg floating, making sure it doesn't touch the floor. Really challenge yourself and really try to focus on that balance. Exhale as you pull the weights up. Inhale as you rise back up. Keep the crown of the head long. We go back to the burpees again in 3, in 2. All right, weights down by the side, weighted burpees, let's go. Down and back, clean that weight up, and then right back into it. So instead of the traditional jump at the top, we're adding that clean. We have those weights. The intensity here is through the load. So the heavier the weights, the more intense this push is going to be. Stay with it, come on, 10 seconds. We have one move after this. We have a double dumbbell swing. And then you get a nice long 45-second recovery. Stay with me, 3, 2, and swings, let's go. Swings are just like a deadlift position, so you hinge from the hips. You use your lower half to get those weights up. This is not a front raise, so you shouldn't feel this in the arms. This is all about the booty and the legs. This is a lower body movement. Really use those legs to drive the weights up. Come on, stay with it. Come on, PELWELL family, you got this. Let's go. Stay for 3, 2, and slowly release. Awesome job. Take your 45-second recovery, grab some water, whatever you need to do, and let's transition to move into a more strength-based circuit. Okay, so coming up next, we have 45-second Romanian deadlifts. Your feet are going to be hips distance apart, no wider, no closer. The weights are going to be in the front of the body, slowly coming down the legs to about mid-shin, and then pressing the floor away to stand all the way back up. Make sure not to shrug the shoulders at the top, and make sure not to push the hips forward. When you stand up, you just want to brace the glutes and activate through the back side of the body. So go ahead, grab those weights. We have deadlifts in 5. So we have the weights in hand, Hold the weights next to the body, slowly lower down, and slowly rise back up. Make sure the knees aren't caving in towards each other or buckling out. You have a nice long spine here. Pull the crown of the head forward. Notice there's no arching through the upper back and there's no sagging through the lower back. So although we're focusing on hamstrings and booty, this is still a lot of upper back work. So pull those shoulder blades together. Make sure the weights are staying super close to the body. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you rise back up. In 10 seconds, we have no rest time, no transition time. We're going to take the weights and go right into double dumbbell swings for a little cardio push. 3, 2, go. So your setup is the same as the deadlift. You're hinging from those hips. The feet are firmly rooted into the floor. They're still about hips distance apart. The weights come shoulder height. You're really using your posterior chain here to get those weights up. So this should not feel like a front raise. This is not an arm exercise. This is still focusing on your legs, your hamstrings, your booty. Keep driving, you're almost there, come on. And you get a 15-second shakeout. Up next, we have single leg deadlifts. You need both weights still. All right, so we have a 45-second effort here. So we grab both weights, find your balance, find your stability, and come into your single leg deadlifts. If taking the other foot back into a balance is too much, feel free just to leave that big toe on the floor. But if you can, really focus on finding that balance. When you extend the leg back, keep your hips square to the floor so we're not opening up the hip to the side wall. Again, make sure you're not rounding that back. Pull those shoulder blades together. Keep your core nice and strong. You have a long spine. In 10 seconds, we have another cardio push. So we're going to stay with the single leg deadlift, but at the bottom, we're going to add that row. You've done this before. Get ready. 3, 2, here we go. You've got deadlift and then row at the bottom. So the work here is the load. The heavier the weight, the more intense this is going to be. Find that balance and keep flowing through single leg deadlift to a row at the bottom. Keep those shoulder blades pulled together the entire time. Keep your core strong. In 10 seconds, you get a 15-second shakeout. Come on, stay with it. You got this, let's go. And 15 seconds. We're going to transition into the other side and do the exact same thing. We have 45-second pure strength single leg deadlifts, and then we have that cardio push by adding in that row and picking up the speed. So both dumbbells in hand, switch to the other leg, single leg deadlifts. Really focus on the control and the stability here. This should feel like you're stretching through the back of the leg, the upper back of the leg, the hamstring. But with that load, we're adding that intensity. So you're really building strength through your hamstring, through your glute. You should feel that gentle pull on the hamstring. You feel it in the lower back, check on your form, and maybe you need to go to a lighter weight. Keep the core super strong, keep the shoulder blades pulled together. Make sure there's no arching through the lower back. In 5 seconds, we have that push. We're gonna pick up the speed and add the row. 3, 2, go. So now we add that row at the bottom, pop it back up and take it back. You got it, 30-second push here. Then you're gonna get another 15-second rest. Stay with it, come on. Keep pulling those arms up, you got this. 10 seconds out, come on. Stay with it, PELWELL family. Recovery is coming in 3, in 2, and 15-second shakeout. Nice job. All right, we're gonna go into 3 rounds of just the deadlifts by themselves. So we have a typical Romanian deadlift, followed by your single leg deadlifts, 45 seconds each. Go ahead, grab both dumbbells. 45-second Romanian deadlifts. We are burning out the hamstrings. Come on, PELWELL family, you got this. I know the back of the legs are really starting to feel this. This is a lot of hamstring and booty work. but you are fully capable of powering through these lifts. So stay focused on your form, stay connected with your breath. Keep both feet firmly rooted into the mat. Make sure the knees are tracking parallel, so they're not falling in towards one another. Keep the weights very close to your body. Less than 10 seconds, we transition into the single leg deadlift. So keep the weights in hand. Ready? And single leg deadlifts, let's go. Find your balance. If you lose it, that's okay. Just get re-grounded through the foot and then get right back into it. You're here on this leg for 45 seconds. Can you get as many reps without putting that foot down? But always know that you can drop that foot if you need to restabilize. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you drive back up. Think of driving back up as pressing firmly through the floor like you're pushing the floor away to rise. 10 seconds before we transition into the other leg. You got this, come on. All right, we're done with that leg. Shake it out, other leg. 45 seconds, let's go. After this push, you get a 15-second break. And then we have another cardio push before a long 45-second recovery. So you know what's coming, stay present, and know that you have just a little bit of work before a long break. So stay with me. We push hard so we can recover well. It feels so much better when we earn those recoveries. I promise you, you always have a little more than you think you do. Stay with it, come on. Less than 10 seconds. 15 seconds to shake it out. All right, shake it out right now. Maybe you drop the weight, shake out the grip. Get ready, we have 3 different moves. Double dumbbell swings are on deck first, 30-second push. Grab those weights right next to your side. 3, 2, go. All right, again, it's just like that deadlift. Drive the hips. Use the lower body to get those weights up. 30 seconds here. And then we have our single leg deadlift rows, 1 on each side. Unilateral work is so great because it trains us to be strong on both sides, so we're not dependent on one side to be stronger than the other. 5 seconds, we go into those single leg rows. Come on. All right, quick transition, let's go. You hinge from the hips, you deadlift, you row at the bottom, you stand back up. Inhale as you lower down, exhale as you row and rise. 15 seconds here, then we go into the other leg. You got this, come on. Stay with it. Keep that foot firmly rooted into the floor. And switch sides, 30 seconds, this is it. You get 45 seconds on the other side of this, come on. Stay with it, you got this. Come on, PELWELL family. 15 seconds, that's it. You don't rest now, your rest is coming. Your rest is in 10 seconds. Right now you are pushing. Stay for 3. Stay for 2. And release. You can drop those weights, shake it out, grab some water, maybe stretch, forward fold. Give your hamstrings a little break. In 30 seconds, we're going to move on. So right now, just recover, roll the shoulders, stretch, whatever you need to do. 45 seconds may be enough time to recover, but it's definitely not long, so don't get too comfortable in this rest. Stay with it, you got this. You are already halfway through this workout, PELWELL family. You are crushing this. All right, go ahead and grab those weights again. We're moving into upper back work. So hinging from those hips, we row. So it's just like a deadlift setup. You're hinging from those hips. Think of pulling the weights to the back hip pocket. So the core is strong. You're using the core to support the upper body. Make sure you're not rowing the weights like towards the shoulders. We want to keep pulling them almost backwards in direction towards that back hip pocket. Nice job, stay with it. Exhale as you row up, inhale as you lower. We go right into burpees after this, so keep those weights, drop it and jump it back. 30-second burpee push, let's go. 30-second effort, you get 15 seconds to shake it out on the other side of this. Come on, PELWELL family. Make sure you're keeping the core super strong. Clean the weights up to the shoulders. 10 seconds. Keep going. Stay with it, come on. Stay for 3. Stay for 2. And 15 seconds, shake it out, nice job. All right, up next we move into wide rows. So we're gonna pull with the elbows leading first. So grab both those dumbbells, have them in hand. So hinging from the hips, just like the deadlift, palms face inward, and then we row up. Keep pulling the elbows back. So instead of lining them up with the shoulders, they're actually lining up more towards the ribs, so they're moving back in direction. At the top, you want the wrist directly beneath the elbows, not in towards the body. So you've got these 90-degree bends in both elbows. Hinge from the hips, core strong. Nice long spine, you got this. Squeeze the shoulder blades together at the top. You should feel this all around the shoulder blade muscles. After this, we go into a 30-second push, double dumbbell swings. But right now, we're still staying with those wide rows. 3, 2, weights in hand, stand up and hinge and swing. You got it. We've been here before, you know how to do this. So now just focus on the intensity. Focus on picking up that pace and staying connected with your form. Exhale as you swing up, inhale as you lower those weights. You got this. Already halfway through this effort, you get 15 seconds after this, come on. Stay for 10 seconds, you got this. Stay with it. For 3, for 2, and shake it out. Awesome job. Our next effort is gonna be on the floor, so you're gonna need 1 dumbbell if you have heavy weights. If you have lighter weights, go ahead and bring both with you, and you're gonna bring the heads of the weights together as if you're trying to make a barbell. So make your way to the floor, grab that weight. We're going into lat overhead extensions. So arms start at the chest, slowly lower the weight overhead, and then bring it back in line with the chest. Understand that this is an upper back movement, not triceps. So this is not a skull crusher. So make sure the elbows are not bent. You want nice, long, straight arms. You're hinging from the shoulders to bring that weight overhead. It doesn't touch the floor. It comes maybe half an inch from the floor. You should feel this all through your lats and your upper back. Make sure your lower back is maintaining contact with the floor, especially when the weight is overhead. In 10 seconds, we're going to bring that weight to the chest and go right into weighted sit-ups with an overhead press at the top. So keep that weight, bring it into the chest, sit up and press overhead. You got it. You want to exhale as you rise up and punch the weight up to the ceiling. Stay with it. This is a 30-second cardio push. Using the entire body here. Come on. 15 seconds. Let's go. Stay with it. Come on for 10. Keep working. 5 seconds. Let's go. And slowly release. Shake it out. You get 15 seconds. Nice job, PELWELL family. All right, let's get ready to seam some of those moves together. So we're gonna do the strength ones first. So we have 45 seconds of bent over rows on deck. So go ahead, grab those weights, hinge from the hips, and row. So again, we're focusing on upper back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you pull the weights back towards the back hip pocket. Keep both feet firmly grounded into the earth. Keep your back super straight. Nice long spine using a supported core. So your core is braced. You're pulling that belly button back towards the spine. You're already halfway through this effort. Without resting, in 15 seconds, we're going to transition into wide bent over rows. So we're really focusing on burning out that upper back. Remember, today was all about the posterior chain and the entire back side of your body. So this is a lot of hamstrings and upper back. All right, we're transitioning into wide rows here. 45 seconds. We just did these, so you know the form, so now you can really focus on making sure every repetition counts. At the top, the wrists are directly beneath the elbows. You're squeezing those shoulder blades together at the top. Really, really focusing on upper back here. The weights are heavy, so you might have a little lift, but try not to swing the body to get the weights up. Really use your upper back strength to get those weights up. You got this. Exhale as you row, inhale as you release. Come on. 10 seconds, we transition to the floor and we go back to those lateral overhead extensions. I say lateral, but it's really just lats, the muscle that we're working. All right, lat overhead extension, come on. Remember here to keep the lower back connected with the floor. Keep the arms as straight as you can. Your back is a big muscle group, so make sure that you're using a weight that is heavy enough to make this challenging. Our goal in 45 seconds is to get anywhere between 8 and 15 repetitions. If you're getting a lot more than 15, you can probably go to a heavier weight. And if you can't even get 8, it might be time to go a little lighter. 10 seconds, come on. We're gonna transition back into a cardio push. We're gonna bring it back up. 3, 2, and burpees, let's go. You've got both those dumbbells, come on. Right into it. You got this, let's go. We've done these before, you know how to do it, so now you focus on just building that intensity, getting that heart rate up. Keep the core strong when you jump the feet back and in. This is a lot of abdominal strength. Transitioning right into those swings, keep the weights. There you go, stay with it, come on. Awesome job, PELWELL family. Come on, you got this. Let's go. You're already halfway through this effort. We have weighted sit-ups next. 3, 2. All right, transition to the floor as quick as you can. One weight, let's go. 30-second effort, come on. After this, you get 45 seconds to shake it out, but right now you are pushing. Come on, you got this, let's go. Already halfway through this effort. Don't rest now, your recovery is coming, keep pushing. Less than 10 seconds, come on. Stay for 3, stay for 2, and release. Shake it out, 45 seconds. You earned this recovery. Awesome, awesome job. So go ahead, grab those 2 dumbbells. In less than 10 seconds, we have a 30-second cardio push. All right, grab those weights. We go in 3, 2, and you're in it. Let's go. Hop those feet back, hop them in, clean the weight up to the shoulders, and right back into it. You got this. We have 5 different cardio moves back to back, no recovery time. So right now we're focusing on getting that heart rate up and really getting the body nice and warm and primed for this workout. Make sure when you jump the feet back, the core is strong so you're not sagging the hips or feeling any of this in the lower back. And when you clean the weights up, make sure you're hinging from those hips and shrug, elbow, punch the weights up so we're not bicep curling. All right, keep those weights in hands. We have a deadlift, high pull. So focusing on the posterior chain, you're focusing on the hamstrings and the upper back. So keep the weight super close to you. Hinge from the hips. Make sure you're not squatting. You have a flat back at the bottom. When the weights hit about mid-thigh, you're pulling that weight all the way up and underneath the chest. You got it, 10-second push. Stay with it. After this, we still have those weights. We're going into a single leg deadlift with a row at the bottom. 3, 2, and transition. Balance on one side, hinge from the hips, row the weight up towards the ribs. Make sure you have a flat back, just like in a normal deadlift. We don't want the back rounding and feeling any of this in the lower back. The intensity here is through the speed and through the balance, the unilateral work. Your core is working like crazy. You should feel the hamstring, your upper back, the entire backside of your body is working. In 3 seconds, we switch sides. Stay with it. Straight into it, other side, let's go. Find that balance, find that stability. If you can, keep the opposite leg floating, making sure it doesn't touch the floor. Really challenge yourself and really try to focus on that balance. Exhale as you pull the weights up. Inhale as you rise back up. Keep the crown of the head long. We go back to the burpees again in 3, in 2. All right, weights down by the side, weighted burpees, let's go. Down and back, clean that weight up, and then right back into it. So instead of the traditional jump at the top, we're adding that clean. We have those weights. The intensity here is through the load. So the heavier the weights, the more intense this push is going to be. Stay with it, come on, 10 seconds. We have one move after this. We have a double dumbbell swing. And then you get a nice long 45-second recovery. Stay with me, 3, 2, and swings, let's go. Swings are just like a deadlift position, so you hinge from the hips. You use your lower half to get those weights up. This is not a front raise, so you shouldn't feel this in the arms. This is all about the booty and the legs. This is a lower body movement. Really use those legs to drive the weights up. Come on, stay with it. Come on, PELWELL family, you got this, let's go. Stay for 3, 2, and slowly release. Awesome job. Take your 45-second recovery, grab some water, whatever you need to do, and let's transition to move into a more strength-based circuit. Okay, so up next, we're going to transition back to our strength. So we've got Romanian deadlifts up first. So less than 30 seconds in this recovery. And then we're moving right back into weight training. So right now you're catching your breath, you're letting that heart rate come back down, you're shaking out the grip, whatever you need. And in 15 seconds, we have those weights back in hand, getting ready to build some strength. Less than 10 seconds. All right, awesome job. Let's start to get those weights in hand. So we're gonna hinge from those hips. Romanian deadlifts, let's go. So we're taking it down a notch as far as heart rate and breathing, but we have a heavy load here. So even though we're slowing down the pace, we still have to be really focused and present as we focus on our form. Drive the hips back, keep the core strong. We've done these before, so by now in this round, I really want you to just focus on finding that muscle fatigue, that failure where you feel like I cannot do one more rep. That fatigue followed by recovery is how your muscles grow. 5 seconds, and we're going to transition into upper body. 3, 2, go ahead, grab those weights, bend over, hinging from the hips, and row. So palms face each other. We're pulling those weights to the back hip pocket. Just like you've been doing throughout class so far. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Really activate the upper back. You got this. Less than 30 seconds. Come on. You're already halfway through this effort. Stay with it. Exhale as you pull up. Inhale as you lower. Make sure you keep pulling the weights back to the back hip pocket. We're going to keep those weights in hand, transition into our single leg deadlifts. All right, let's go. Balance on one side, hinge from the hips, find your stability, and really fire up through the hamstrings. Keep your core really strong, protect your lower back. Focus on the hamstrings. In this push, we're focusing on that muscle fatigue, that failure. So have a heavy enough load that you can achieve that. And slowly release. All right, get ready. We're moving back to upper body, wide bent over rows. Wrists under elbows at the top of the row. Elbows are pulling back rather than lining up with the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together at the top of the exercise. You're really firing up through the upper back. You're already halfway through this effort. We're going to transition back to lower body in 15 seconds, doing the other leg for our single leg deadlifts. But right now, focus on the upper back. 10 seconds away. Come on. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together. For 3, for 2, single leg deadlifts. Let's go, other leg. Hinge from the hips. Find the balance, find the stability. Keep your hips square to the floor. Make sure the hips not opening up to the side wall when you extend that leg back. Keep the weights close to the body. You're already halfway through this effort. In 15 seconds, we transition to the floor and we have those lat overhead extensions. Five seconds away, get ready. One weight, transitioning to the floor. Unless you have light dumbbells, then you're gonna take both with you, sandwich the heads together and make one barbell. All right, weight over chest. And then from the shoulders, slowly lower it back down. You got this, stay with it. Make sure the lower back is maintaining contact with the floor the entire time. You got this, come on. That upper back should be burning. This being the final set for our strength training. Come on, 10 seconds. Don't give up. You have a 45-second recovery on the other side of this to shake it out and to rest. 3, 2, and release that weight. Awesome job. Take your 45 seconds. All right, after this, we've made it to our finisher. We have 5 cardio moves. You've done this before. This will be the 3rd time today in class, so you know what's coming. In 30 seconds, we have 5 30-second efforts, no break in between, just non-stop movement. This finisher is meant to be a challenge. It's meant to be hard. And when your mind is thinking, I cannot do what is about to come, remind yourself that your body is fully capable of doing hard things. So get ready to push. 10 seconds out, we're gonna start with those weighted burpees. So grab those weights, get ready. We go in 3, we go in 2, here we go. Let's go. Hop those feet back, hop them in, clean the weight up to the shoulders, and right back into it. You got this. We have 5 different cardio moves back to back, no recovery time. So right now we're focusing on getting that heart rate up and really getting the body nice and warm and primed for this workout. Make sure when you jump the feet back, the core is strong so you're not sagging the hips or feeling any of this in the lower back. When you clean the weights up, make sure you're hinging from those hips and shrug, elbow, punch the weights up so we're not bicep curling. All right, keep those weights in hands. We have a deadlift high pull. So focusing on the posterior chain, you're focusing on the hamstrings and the upper back. So keep the weight super close to you. Hinge from the hips, make sure you're not squatting. You have a flat back at the bottom. When the weights hit about mid-thigh, you're pulling that weight all the way up and underneath the chest. You got it, 10-second push. Stay with it. After this, we still have those weights. We're going into a single leg deadlift with a row at the bottom. 3, 2, and transition. Balance on one side, hinge from the hips, row the weight up towards the ribs. Make sure you have a flat back, just like in a normal deadlift. We don't want the back rounding and feeling any of this in the lower back. The intensity here is through the speed and through the balance, the unilateral work. Your core is working like crazy. You should feel the hamstring, your upper back, the entire backside of your body is working. In 3 seconds, we switch sides. Stay with it. Straight into it, other side. Let's go. Find that balance, find that stability. If you can, keep the opposite leg floating, making sure it doesn't touch the floor. Really challenge yourself and really try to focus on that balance. Exhale as you pull the weights up. Inhale as you rise back up. Keep the crown of the head long. We go back to the burpees again in 3, in 2. All right, weights down by the side, weighted burpees, let's go. Down and back, clean that weight up, and then right back into it. So instead of the traditional jump at the top, we're adding that clean. We have those weights. The intensity here is through the load. So the heavier the weights, the more intense this push is going to be. Stay with it, come on, 10 seconds. We have one move after this. We have a double dumbbell swing. And then you get a nice long 45-second recovery. Stay with me. 3, 2, and swings, let's go. Swings are just like a deadlift position, so you hinge from the hips. You use your lower half to get those weights up. This is not a front raise, so you shouldn't feel this in the arms. This is all about the booty and the legs. This is a lower body movement. Really use those legs to drive the weights up. Come on, stay with it. Come on, PELWELL family, you got this. Let's go. Stay for 3, 2, and slowly release. You made it, PELWELL family. Awesome job. Make sure to check out one of our mini stretch workouts to bring this workout to a conclusion. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to continue to follow this program. And until next time, be well.